the difference between a working line and a show line from the pet perspective. And I'm saying from the pet perspective because from the working perspective there's simply no challenge. You should always go with a working line. But from the pet perspective, of course, there can be some reasons why show lines could be better, especially if you're older or you cannot handle the character of a certain type of dog. This could be troublesome, and oftentimes the show lines are a lot more meek and also easier to work with or keep in a bigger group. But there could also be the opposite. So if you still want a very easy going dog, it could also be that a show line type of dog has less predictable character. So for example, the Bull Terriers of working lines are often very human friendly, whereas those of show lines can have a more different character. So where a working Bull Terrier will be there from a place of confidence, a show Bull Terrier could be there from a different place, sometimes being very meek and easy going, but sometimes also that much different that they come from a place of fear. And fear is a lot less reliable than dominance, of course. Another thing is, if you still need some of the working capabilities, you might have to get 2 or 3 or 4 showbred dogs of a certain type instead of one working one, because there could be so much difference in character and also drive to do the work that you want them to do. So for example, if you need a guarding dog and you get one from performance lines, one guardian dog of performance lines could outshine 4 of show lines. So there are different things, of course, in a guardian dog. It's also that they propose a barrier function, and of course 4 can be a lot more barrier than 1. But if they are easily to be scared or not bothering at all at protecting the property, what good are they? Another point, and that's purely going to the side of working lines. Working line dogs are often a lot more healthy, because they have to be. If they're not able to work, they are not bred, and if they are unhealthy, they are very oftentimes not able to work. Whereas a show line dog, it often only needs to look pretty. Also, there are quite a few working lines that get away with quite a lot of inbreeding, whereas in show dogs the inbreeding can be even higher or lower, depends on the program they use, but they have a lot more health issues. And the health testing is managing, it's balancing out the inbreeding depression that could arise. And the benefit of that inbreeding is that you get a dog that's a lot more predictable in outcome, character, but also build. And oftentimes also via all other benefits. So, for example, almost all working dogs have a good heart, so good cardiovascular system. Also a lot of times they have good joints, hips, muscles, a good metabolism, good speed, a good motion. All things that are natural aspects of a working dog, but quite hard to find in the show dog. So those are extreme benefits, and in my opinion, very often time, even in a family setting, a working dog would be the better choice. There could be some examples of or exceptions in this case. As I mentioned, when you're older, you don't have the ability to put in the work, because you have to give a working dog outlets for its energy, and also physical and mental stimulation and work to do. And if you're not able to do that, also that pet showline type of dog will not be that happy, but they will cope with it a lot easier oftentimes as compared to working lines. And there could be another option if you want a specific outlook, so how a dog should look in appearance, and you might be left with a lot of breeds that are not being worked anymore, so you're then confined to showline type of dogs. So, long story short, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. The dog on the dish here is my Patterdale Terrier, also known as a Black Fell Terrier. It's an Earth Terrier type of dog. He's from working lines, and I'm glad that the entirety of the Patterdale Terrier mainly consists of working line, but this could shift very easily in the future, like it also did with, for example, the Russells. Have a great day. In this video we will address the topic, is there also gameness in the animal kingdom, so in the wild animals? And the short answer is yes, but they are hard to find and not many are that. And why is this? Because in nature normally animals are there to survive, and if they don't survive because they have gameness and they want to go on even against opposition that is much stronger, so even if needed to the death, they won't be living long enough to reproduce their genes maximally. So that being said, let's look at some examples. We will talk at least about lions. We will talk about Martin's family, but we also talk about some of the civet cat family. So first start with lions. In the animal kingdom, the male lions are those that have that gameness attribute. And why? The female lions are the best hunters. So how come that those male lions are those that have the gameness trait, whereas the lioness are the hunters, the male lions are the protectors? So especially if other male lions come and try to take over this group of lions, and oftentimes they also kill the lion whelps, because they don't want to raise other male lions with genes but their own, and that's a big problem for that group. You will be wasting genetic diversity. And those male lions, once they get challenged by another male lion, they will fight, even if that would mean that they would die. And sometimes they even face off with two upcoming male lions that will battle that one lion together. And after that, either be a two male lion group, or one will attack the other again, so only one will remain. Depends a little bit how the situation unfolds. That's an interesting fact. Other very game animals must be the family of martens. Martens, even if you get pet martens like ferrets, they will happily engage with a cat 4 times its weight, which is also a very good predator, or a dog even 10 times its weight is very often the case, but sometimes even attacking herders like Dutch shepherds, Malinois. And of course it would be very easy for such a big dog, for any bigger dog, to kill a ferret if they are themselves still very capable boy. But oftentimes those household pets are already bred to have such a lack of courage, if they will have a hard time with a ferret. But so a ferret is a domesticated polecat, and also polecats are known to fight cats, sometimes even venomous snakes, such as how do we say that? I think viper is the best way to describe them. We have European viper, for example. And a similar case could be made for an entirely different family, being that of the civet cats, where they have the mongooses fighting with the big venomous snakes and also killing them. But sometimes also those snakes kill them. So it's a very interesting thing. But let's stay with the marten family. Other very game martens are, for example, the wolverine. That even chases away wolves or bears or even polar bears from their own prey. And it's such a compact gladiator. Other examples are river otters or other otters that even fight and kill small crocodiles, caimans, or also snakes. Even small anacondas have been killed by them. Other examples are the meager weasel, who can be like 50 to 100 grams and killing rabbits more than 20 times its weight. And yeah, a rabbit is still just a prey, but they will also engage very hard with each other. They will engage rats, and rats are quite capable of killing animals, including their own. For the size, they are quite big, and they will engage a bigger rat and kill it. They are really good, feisty little buggers. And you have a little bit bigger, the ermine, similar traits. Polecats already mentioned, but also there are some martens that are less likely to fight, including tree marten and stone marten, but also you have the fisher marten in the United States, like a smaller wolverine, also very interesting to see. Then we had the civet cats. I already mentioned the mongooses, but also the genet cats, which is a different trait. And fossas are known to be ferocious little fighters. Another example could be made for, and as we didn't address yet, there's another very big cat that is really going, hey, against a very stiff competition, and it could be either the snow leopard, that you will even face off with 4 livestock protection breeds, for example Tibetan Mastiffs, and also the jaguar, which is able to kill anaconda but also crocodile types. But both the snow leopard and also the jaguar are very fierce and also solo fighting big cats, and also sometimes Siberian tigers or Bengal tigers face off with very strong prey, even bears. So also very strong, and also a bear can win from a tiger, of course, but this is not the type of gameness I was referring to. Another example of the marten family would be the badgers. Badgers are known for many a dog as the ultimate test. Some say that the otter is even a better test, but they are almost extinct everywhere in Europe. But very ferocious, will not back down. But there's an even more ferocious badger. I'm not talking about the American badger, which is a lot more aggressive than the European one, but a lot smaller as well. So therefore the European is often considered as a bigger prey, but also the American marten. The American badger is a very formidable quarry, but there are other examples, especially the honey badger of Africa, which faces off on a regular basis with a very big, strong competition, including lions, panthers, even hyenas and the like. And they also face off with cobras and other very deadly material. They just very able to withstand them, but also they have a don't care attitude. They will just face anything, a little bit like the wolverine. But the badger has a better skin and extremely sharp, long claws, also able to dig. They also face off with bee stings, who just doesn't seem to bother them much. They crack open an entire beehive. They are an awesome creature altogether. Well, I hope you like this. I hope you like this video. I'm going to give you also a little bit more of insight that gameness can be a trait also found in nature. And why could be a big question. In case of lions it would be easier to explain. If that lion loses his pride, then he will be in big trouble, because he's already old and it would be very unlikely that he would be overthrowing another male lion from its pride. So he has to hunt for himself and often die. Whereas the honey badger is just such a formidable warrior, and he tends to be surviving also the wolverine. Many of other big creatures will just move away when they see the wolverine, because they already know how much of a warrior they are. Same with honey badger, but it's quite hard to understand why they pick such a formidable quarry. Perhaps because others don't, and they just fill the niche, but it's interesting to conceptualize a little bit more. In an earlier video we discussed gameness in nature, and we gave examples of creatures that can also be game in nature. So gameness is the ability and the willingness to go on even if odds are stacked against you. An example would be the honey badger that will face off with a leopard or a big baboon or a lion. And other examples are male lions that defend their pride against other male lions, even till the death. And multiple examples were mentioned, including also wolverine and, for example, mongooses, or mongooses, so to speak, fighting with king cobras, etc. But that being said, we didn't include canine members in this overview. So canine members like, for example, the fox, or the wolf, or jackal, or coyotes, etc. And that is there's a reason for that, because canines are very brave and also able to take down big quarries, but they work very often in a group. And for example, solo hunting canines such as foxes oftentimes don't take down a big quarry. And then you might say, yeah, I know a fox that has killed a lamb, or killed a baby deer, or killed a baby hawk. Yeah, sure, and they do that. And that's still a big prey for a fox. But the same size, this Petticoat terrier would face off even with an adult hawk. Not win, mind you, but it's a different kind of bravery. So how come that in nature, where they have to fight to survive and also have a very harsh life, this gameness is not found in the canine family, whereas captivity, domestication, so you will, some members of the canine family are one of the gamest animals there are, and especially those that were bred for the gladiator roles, being in the earth, the terriers working formidable quarry like a badger, sometimes above ground against the hawk that I mentioned, but especially those bred for the pit. There were dogs that would go on and continue against other dogs, even if they were ripped to pieces, and still be friendly to the handlers, but also dogs that would face off with lions, and everything they threw at them. And that's an interesting fact, because that gives you also insight at what I mentioned earlier, that I think the Bull and Terrier breeds are the most developed dog breeds there are, because they are so much developed outside the scope of the natural scope that a wolf, a natural canine, has. So if you're interested in this topic, I also have the literature studied about those extreme activities that they had. So especially against the bull, but also against the bear baiting, and against each other, of course, those gladiator type Bull and Terriers. The modern version of that would be the American Pit Bull Terrier, or the Bull and Terriers of the past. But they also fought lions. I have a video about that. You can find that if you want to. It's called lion baiting. It's on my channel. So please sit back and enjoy if you want to. And see you the next time. Bye bye.